First Diddy party I went to was at Prince's house. So you want to go to Prince's house to the Diddy party where Tyrese is performing and Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher are swinging on swings. That is what's happening on the other side of the wall. And so the one thing that makes this party different than a Jamie Foxx party or any other celebrity party that wrangles a bunch of young women or guys or whatever too, is that Diddy didn't let you bring your security in the party.
Baby, this case is turning into a total circus. The name drops already wild. But seeing Prince thrown into the mix, that was a straight up shocker. Everyone knew Diddy used to throw some outrageous parties at Prince's place. Jason Lee already spilled that tea loud and proud. But now folks are saying Prince himself might have been keeping tabs the whole time. What? This man was known for staying low-key, always moving in silence, and staying 10 steps ahead. So picture this. What if he knew the madness going down at his crib and had cameras rolling the whole time? And get this, word on the street is he never even showed face at the parties. People out here are seriously convinced that Prince might have stashed away those tapes or even handed them off to someone before he passed. And now, the whispers are turning into full-on chatter. Those tapes might come back into the spotlight. If that happens, his name could end up smack in the middle of this courtroom chaos. And speaking of chaos, jury selection already got folks bugging out. Michelle Williams, Robert Downey Jr., Mike Myers, even Lauren London's name got thrown in the mix. Like, what in the world are they doing wrapped up in this madness? It's wild. But not all the names were shocks. Cassie, yeah, everyone saw that one coming. She was the first to break the silence and hit Diddy with a lawsuit, and what she laid out, straight up intense. Cassie didn't hold back. She claimed that Diddy's own crew and folks from Bad Boy Entertainment saw everything. Not just hints, not just rumors, the full picture. And not one of them had the guts to speak up. But it gets worse. Cassie said those assistants weren't just standing around in silence, they were part of it. She claimed they played active roles in everything going down. After some of the violent incidents, they were the ones delivering pricey gifts to her, like it was some kind of twisted hush money. And those so-called freak-offs? She said they were setting the whole thing up, booking hotel rooms, laying out the baby oil and Astroglide like it was part of the job. It's wild. Now it's all coming out into the open, and the spotlight is hot. Cassie even said that after one of the worst incidents, Diddy's own head of security and an assistant saw her condition, and both of them broke down crying. That's how real it was. So don't be shocked when subpoenas start flying like confetti, because these staffers are about to get dragged into court real quick. And just when you think it couldn't get messier, guess who's caught in the storm now?
That I don't know, right? What I know is that he was really health conscious. He was a vegan. He didn't abuse alcohol. I didn't know of him abusing drugs. He worked out, so, that also really concerned me because it made me think that, wow, so you mean you do all these things to take care of yourself and you die so young?
Harve Pierre. Yep, that Harve. He's been tied to Bad Boy for years. And now he's already facing a lawsuit from a Jane Doe too. This thing is unraveling fast. So get this, according to Jane Doe, Harve convinced her to hop a flight from Detroit to New Jersey. But when she landed, she claimed she was assaulted by both Harve and Diddy. Like, what kind of twisted power move is that? And oh, it doesn't end there. Now Young Miami's name is getting tossed around too. People are saying she wasn't just on Diddy's payroll for music. Nah, rumor is she might have been moving more than beats. Whispers are flying that she was helping him move substances. And when her name popped up during jury selection, eyes definitely widened. Folks weren't ready for that one. Another jaw-dropper, Dallas Austin. Most know him as a music producer, but he also had a long-standing connection to Diddy. He grew up with Kim Porter, Diddy's late partner. Her sudden death already had people side-eyeing the situation, but now with Dallas's name surfacing, folks are getting even more suspicious. It's raising all kinds of red flags. And wait, remember Laurieann Gibson? The choreographer from Making the Band back in 2007? She straight up told cops that Diddy lost it on set, picked up a chair, and threatened her during a meltdown. That's not just drama, that's violent rage. Oh, and we're not done yet. Don't forget about Aubrey O'Day. She's got some things to say too, and it's only adding to the fire. Aubrey O'Day hasn't been quiet at all. She's been loud in backing Cassie, even accusing Diddy of coming at her with his own inappropriate behavior. Aubrey held nothing back, and she's not alone. Dawn Richard, another former Danity Kane member, came with her own set of receipts. She filed a lawsuit claiming Diddy treated her like a puppet, forcing her into brutal rehearsals with zero sleep, and worse, allegedly taking advantage of her during those times. That's beyond toxic.
My publishing contract with Warner Chappell expired, thus emancipating the name I was given before birth, Prince, from all long-term restrictive documents.
Now, Dawn's story is right back in the spotlight, and it's not just about her experience. She claims she actually saw Diddy get physical with Cassie while he was high. That's a major accusation, and it gives even more weight to what Cassie's been saying from the jump. But then came a wild twist nobody saw coming. Michael B. Jordan's name popped up. Don't get it twisted. He's not accused of anything. He only got mentioned because, according to Cassie's lawsuit, they had a little flirty thing back in 2015. Still, the prosecutors are connecting everything, digging into Cassie's past relationships like it's part of the big picture. And then there's the Kid Cudi situation, and it's straight up dark. Cassie said she had a brief thing with Cudi back in 2011 during a rough patch with Diddy. But when she and Diddy got back together, he found old emails between them. And that's when it went left. According to the lawsuit, Diddy flipped. He wanted to make sure Cudi felt that pressure, and he did. This whole thing just keeps getting deeper. Cassie's lawsuit dropped a crazy claim. She said Diddy told people he was going to make sure Kid Cudi's car blew up while he was home with his crew. And this ain't just some wild exaggeration. Cudi's car actually exploded right in his own driveway. That's real. No rumors. No maybe. It happened. This is giving revenge. It's giving obsession. And now, it's looking like potential evidence in court. And trust, this is just the tip of the iceberg. More names are bound to leak as this trial goes deeper. But we gotta spin back to Prince because that bombshell still has the room frozen. Prince getting dragged into this whole mess, especially with whispers that he had secret footage of Diddy.
Diddy party I went to was at Prince's house. So you want to go to Prince's house to the Diddy party where Tyrese is performing and Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher are swinging on swings. That is what's happening on the other side of the wall. And so the one thing that makes this party different than a Jamie Foxx party or any other celebrity party that wrangles a bunch of young women or guys or whatever too, is that Diddy didn't let you bring your...
People are shook. Now they're wondering if Prince's death had more layers than we ever realized. Could he have known too much? Could those rumored tapes be tied to something way bigger? The timing's got people thinking. Just days before he passed, Prince posted a cryptic photo with a chilling caption, now deleted, that read, "Just when you thought you were safe." And during his final appearance at Paisley Park, after getting treated, he told folks, "Wait a few days before you waste any prayers." What was that about? He passed away at 57, found unresponsive at his Minnesota estate. Officials claimed it was an accidental fentanyl overdose, said he unknowingly took fake Vicodin laced with deadly fentanyl. But now, with everything coming out, people are rethinking everything. Prince was all about that clean lifestyle, no drugs, no wild addictions. So when news dropped that he died from an overdose, it never added up. People been asking, was he secretly sick? Or was something else happening behind the scenes? Let's not forget, before he passed, Prince was at war with the music industry. He wasn't just out here dropping fire tracks, he was battling giants over control and ownership of his own work. He called out the system, fought for artist rights, and went head-to-head with major labels over fair pay. And the deeper you dig, the more it starts to feel like that fight might have cost him everything. A lot of fans point the finger at Warner Brothers. He signed with them in 1977 when he was just 18. His early albums from 78 to 81 didn't explode right away, but Warner stuck with him because they knew what he could become. And by 82, right when MTV came through and shook the game, Prince finally cracked the US top 10. He wasn't just riding the wave, he was the wave. Prince mastered the music video game like no one else. He didn't just make hits, he created a whole mythology. He turned his image into something unforgettable. Fans didn't just like Prince, they became Prince. Dressing like him, moving like him, hanging on to every move he made. And then came Purple Rain in '84. That wasn't just a hit, it was a cultural explosion. In that moment, Prince wasn't just famous, he was untouchable. Prince was the boldest, flashiest, most unstoppable pop icon on the planet.
And getting you into rehab.
Yes, he did. I had a long time kind of battling those things, and after my father passed, it got really bad. And so I called up Big Bruh to help. He said, okay, when and where.
But with all that fame came a ton of drama. He started realizing Warner Brothers had a grip on everything. His name, his music, even his identity, and he hated that. So what did he do? He flipped the whole game. Prince changed his name to a symbol. Yeah, a whole new identity that nobody could legally own. That move wasn't some weird publicity stunt. It was a protest, a loud message to the industry. That's when the world started calling him the artist formerly known as Prince. He wasn't just trying to make noise, he was pushing back hard. He went toe-to-toe with one of the most powerful labels in the business, and he let everybody know. They were trying to shut him down, control him, and box him in, and he wasn't having it. But here's where things start to get real suspicious. Diddy? He was tight with the same people Prince was calling out. Yup, Diddy locked in a major deal with Warner Music Group. That's right, the same Warner that Prince spent years battling. That deal gave Warner a 50% stake in Bad Boy Records. So they weren't just pushing out Bad Boy's music, they owned half the label's catalog, and they were handling everything. Digital, physical, old tracks, new drops, all of it. That's serious control and major money. And Diddy.
It was a 2-second phone call. He's gone. I had been preparing for 2 years, so I knew that it was coming.
What does that mean?
He said it a couple of years ago.
What would he say?
What he said was, I've done everything that I've come to do. So I was crushed for about 2.
He wasn't shy about it. When he talked about that deal, he bragged hard, saying tons of boutique labels come and go. But he was out here making real legacy moves. And guess what? Diddy made it known that this Warner deal gave him the financial firepower, the structure, and all the elite connections to stay on top of the game for years to come. But the link between him and Prince is getting more and more uncomfortable by the minute. Word on the street is, Prince knew exactly what kind of wild stuff Diddy was into. Those infamous freak-offs. Prince wanted no part of that chaos. Jason Lee spilled that the very first Diddy party he ever hit up was at Prince's house. And get this, nobody was allowed to bring their own security. That's sketchy. So yeah, Prince gave the green light to let Diddy host parties at his spot. But was he really just going with the flow? Or was he watching everything from behind the scenes? Because let's not forget, this is Prince, the mastermind. Private, smart, always 3 steps ahead. What if he had the whole house wired with cameras? What if he recorded every single wild moment and hid those tapes somewhere? Or even passed them off to someone he trusted before things got messy? Now the whispers are picking up. People are saying Prince's name could end up in Diddy's trial. And honestly, that changes everything. It's got folks out here wondering just how deep all this goes. Maybe the Purple One knew way more than he ever let on. And maybe that knowledge put a target on his back. Here's something a lot of people overlook. Before Prince's sister, Tyka Nelson, passed, she claimed Prince warned her he was in trouble, just days before he died. Some used to say they weren't all that close, but according to insiders, that couldn't be further from the truth. Behind the scenes, they had a real bond. Not just family by blood, they were tight. So when Tyka said Prince told her he saw something coming, people should have paid way more attention. Back in 2018, she spoke out and flipped the whole narrative. She said she and Prince were like 2 peas in a pod growing up, inseparable. Their parents made it clear Prince, you look after your sister. And he did. Wherever he went, she was right there with him. It wasn't just sibling love. It was deep protective loyalty. And when Tyka got caught up battling her own demons with substances, it was Prince who stepped in. No lectures, no drama. She said he asked her one thing, when and where. And then he got her into rehab, just like that. No delay, no second guessing. He had her back like family should. But here's the part that really hits. Tika said Prince started prepping her for his death 2 years before it even happened. Like he knew the end was creeping up. He didn't want her caught off guard. He didn't just love her, he protected her to the very end. Now that says a lot. That's the kind of behind-the-scenes moment that gives you chills. During an interview with the Minnesota Star-Tribune, Tyka opened up about stepping away from music and focusing on her memoir. But the part that hit the hardest? She shared her last conversation with Prince just 4 days before he passed. She said he kept dodging her questions. She tried to get real with him, press him a little, but he kept switching it up, cracking jokes, making her laugh. There were some genuine laughs, yeah, but deep down, she felt it. Something was off. She asked him straight up, "How are you really?" But he didn't open up. He knew she was worried. He just couldn't bring himself to go there. And that was the last time they spoke. So what do we really know? Something heavy was on Prince's heart right before he passed. Whether it was connected to Diddy, those rumored secret tapes, or the powerful people he was clashing with behind the scenes, that part's still a mystery. And whether his name officially shows up in court, we're gonna have to wait and watch this all unfold. But one thing's for sure. This story runs deeper than anyone expected. There's more beneath the surface, and it's only getting darker. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe so you don't miss a single update on this wild case. You already know, it's not over yet. I'll catch you on the next one.